This is a delightful poem called The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash for class 10. This is more like a nonsense poem written in a lighter vein. Ogden Nash reveled in this type of poetry and became hugely famous in America during the 1940s because of his unconventional humor and poetry. Ogden Nash is an American poet who died in 1970. He was well known for his light verse. He wrote unconventional rhymes with a good dose of humor and was described by the New York Times as America's most humorous poet. These are the characters in this poem. There's a girl called Belinda. There's a black kitten whose name is Ink, dark as ink. The dragon is called Custard, and yellow dog called Mustard, and there's a grey mouse called Blink. These form the characters of this story. The story is very simple. One day a pirate, armed with a pistol, came into their house. All were terrified, except the dragon. Custard the dragon attacked the pirate and gobbled him up. Belinda embraced him. The mustard dog licked him happily. But even after this brave incident, cowardly Custard kept crying for a safe cage to live in. This is the poem now. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a realio, trulio little pet dragon. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and realio, trulio daggers on his toes. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the realio, trulio, cowardly dragon. Incidentally, the word unmerciful means she's actually saying she tickled him mercilessly. And Percival, I don't know if you've heard about this, was a brave knight of King Arthur's time, and they named this dragon rudely Percival in sarcasm. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. When they mean asked his age, they asked him not to be childish and grow up. Everybody except Custard was supposed to be very brave. Okay? Let's continue. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meouch, cried Ink, and ooh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this word cutlass. It's a naval knife. Belinda paled and she cried, help, help! But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little mouse Blink strategically mouseholed. Mousehold means he went down hiding in the hole in the bottom of the house. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Do you know that the bird robin pecks and picks up its worm instantly? So what they are trying to say is that this Custard, the dragon, went at the pirate and in one instant finished him. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. I don't know if you're familiar. I'm a naval officer, so I can tell you, pirates are notorious for guzzling large quantities of grog, which is booze, from a flagon. A flagon is a metal flask for holding booze. These are the characters you see. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Gyrate is a word to mean to go spinning round and round. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I'd be twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink, and up spoke Blink. We'd have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and a realio, trulio, little pet dragon. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. How many of you have heard about the word cowardly Custard? That's become a common phrase nowadays when you want to describe somebody who's a coward. What is nice about this nonsensical, humorous poem is that we don't have to be brave all the time. We all have spent a lot of time being afraid of a lot of little things, but it doesn't really matter. At the same time, I like to tell myself that if it's really important, I can do the things that I'm scared of. For example, if somebody's life depended on my climbing on top of the Golden Bridge at San Francisco, and I saved her, I'm sure I'd have the guts to be able to do so without becoming petrified. I hope you all enjoyed that poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon. The next poem we're going to read is For Anne Gregory, written by W.B. Yeats.